Say hello to Chris and Happy New Year, and thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Jackie. Jackie, I can barely hear you. But I kind of got what you said, and thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me back, and a Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm sat here with a cup of tea, and something struck me. I think last time we were together in the studio, I think there was cake. There doesn't seem to be any cake here.
Yeah, I did, yeah. So, Chris, how are you coping with the latest lockdown? It's not quite the same as the first one when the sun was shining and we were all feeling upbeat and positive about it.
I think that's the thing. I think when the last one was quite easy, wasn't it? We got through it without a problem. You know, I keep myself busy. I've got so much to do. I started, but Mary's the wife's still working from home, so she's using the kitchen as an office.
Oh.
And but she's getting fed up sitting at the kitchen table. I tried to show her how to work the cooker. Perhaps she could do some dinner or something, but she ain't having that. So I'm building her an office out in the garden.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then, of course, it starts raining, and so you can't get out there and do that. And
you've
got a million other things to do. And, well, you just try and get on with it, don't you?
I would think, Chris, that you have enough time to do your poems. Now, I have your 3 books here with me on the desk, and on a really bad day, I pick up one and read randomly from the pages.
Oh, bless you.
And they never fail to make me smile. I've got to be honest with you there.
That's a lovely thing to say. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's but listen, that's what it's about. I think if we can, you know, I don't know, spread a little sunshine or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's tough for all of us. We're all struggling.
Well, that's right. I've noticed from your social media pages that since we spoke last, which was about 2 years ago, I think you came into the studio about January 2018. You've been writing
that long ago.
Yeah, lots and lots of poems. So can you tell me, is there another book looming?
Well, do you know what there is? And I should have got it out by Christmas. I think I've got enough material, but I'll be perfectly honest with you, because the other 3 books, as you well know, there are about 200 pages in a book.
Yeah.
And I've started putting another one together, and I'm up to about 100. And I don't want to shortchange people, so I'm not going to put it out there until it's the same size as the others.
Right.
But then by the same token, I don't want to fill it up with unnecessary... I was going to say crap, but I can't use a word like that. You know what I mean, though. You know, I don't want to just fill it up for the sake of it.
No.
It's got to be decent stuff worth reading. So, unfortunately, at the moment, it's all to do with COVID right now, isn't it? It's all to do with the plague and one thing and another. And because of the way I write, because I write about life and about what's happening, it tends to creep into everything I do. And again, I try to make light of it where I can.
But no, Chris, you've written a serious poem, haven't you, on coronavirus, which I'm going to...
Well, I have, yeah. I wrote one, as you know, I try to make light of stuff, but sometimes stuff's a little bit more serious than that. And I wrote one just recently called New Lockdown, and it was obviously for the start of the lockdown. And because we're all suffering in one way or another, but some people are suffering with their mental health apart from anything else, you know. Yeah. Some of us are missing going to Spain for our holidays, and some of us are missing personal human contact. So,
yes, I would
and that's kind of what this one's about. I'm going to read this one for you, if you don't mind. It's called New Lockdown.
Yeah.
And it's about that, as I say. It's a pretty serious thing. But anyway, here we go. It goes like this. And now as we enter the new lockdown, some will cope better than others. Some will seem stronger and hang in for longer, while others will struggle and suffer. Staying at home will be easy for some, but maybe you're not one of those. Don't suffer in silence in some show of defiance. Make sure that somebody knows. The world is full of nice people, and they're really not that hard to find. Don't think you're weak and be frightened to speak, and don't let yourself get left behind. If you ain't heard from somebody lately, why don't you just pick up the phone? Reach out and touch, because it doesn't take much to let them know they're not alone. Compassion is what makes us human. And empathy, our ace in a hole. Not all superheroes wear capes and tight pants. Kindness is the new rock and roll. And let's face it, we've all had our moments, to a greater or lesser degree. So if you're having a meltdown because of the lockdown, scream out and let somebody see.
Oh, that is wonderful, Chris. No, that touches, that actually touches everyone in different ways. That there's very well thought out poem. What inspires your thoughts, Chris, to write a poem each day?
Do you know what, Jackie? I wish I knew.
Oh.
It's. I mean, I used to, a couple of years back now, I would just sit down and write. And, that was it. I'd just sit down and write, make up a story, bump it down. It's changed a bit now. And I think, again, because this year being what it is, it's changed it even more so. Some days I've got nothing. And some days it just pours out, Some days I'll start to write something. And I know it seems very flippant and you've heard it a million times. But sometimes they write themselves. I just sit down and start typing on the laptop, and they write themselves because they're already there.
All right.
But I don't know. I think what inspires me as much as anything is my social media pages. Obviously, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Twitter.
Yes, I look at them. Yes.
I've made some great friends over on Twitter and on Facebook. I mean, God bless them, and the messages they send me. They say about, you make me smile and you lift me day and stuff like that. Well, do you know what that does for me? I'm just an old man sitting here trying to, get through. And people send me messages like that, and it really gladdens my heart. And it inspires me to write something else, and then something just happens and something clicks. It's usually something to do with West Ham. As you know, I'm a West Ham supporter.
Now I've got Harry here in the studio with me, and
sorry, I didn't catch what you said, Jackie.
I said I have Harry sitting here in the studio.
Okay, yeah.
And he's a West Ham supporter, and
Good
he's
man,
one of
Harry.
your fans as well.
Oh yeah.
Good man, Harry.
A muddy day on Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah. Listen, mate, we won.
We won, yeah.
In fact, you don't always have to be on top of your game.
No.
What you've got to do is win, especially in them cup games.
I told a friend in Australia, Western Australia, about your poems a couple of years ago, and she regularly clocks in and reads it, but she can't get the book when Western Australia.
Somebody told me that, but I'm surprised because they're on Amazon.au. So
yeah, that was the one who told you. I was a best man at her wedding.
Right, yeah. Oh, okay. Just go briefly back to the what you were saying about Monday night, about the West Ham thing. I was on Twitter at the time, and it's just 4 lines, sorry. And I just said, a winner's a winner's a winner's a winner, and winner's as good as it gets. Mm-hmm. We might have done better, but the truth is we never. But we're through, so we have no regrets. That's what being a West Ham supporter's about, isn't it?
The fireworks were the best thing, weren't they?
And here with us in the studio, I also have John. Hello, John.
Hello, John. How you doing?
Hello, mate. How you doing? All right?
All good, thank you. All good. Bearing up, John. Trying to get through,
Listen, I'll be honest with you, Chris. I've only, as of today, heard you read 2 of your poems.
Oh, really? Okay.
Immensely. Last week, you read us a poem about tea. And in celebration of that, I've got my new tea cosy here with me and a mug of tea, which I'm enjoying. I think your poetry is absolutely A1.
Mate, if you got your tea cosy there, I'm going to quote Billy Connolly. Never trust a man who is left alone in a house with a tea cosy and don't try it on.
John did try it on, though, didn't you, John?
But listen, I think in many ways you're the East End Pam Ayres.
Bless you.
The way your poetry rolls off your tongue is wonderful. It reminds me of my namesake, a guy called Eddie Guest, who was born in England, but did most of his poems in America. He was a broadcaster, and he wrote hundreds of poems. I'll send one to you at some stage because it's got the same kind of cadence as you read, and really kind of, especially the one you just said about West Ham. Yeah, it's easy to say and it sounds good in your mouth. So, Chris, brilliant, mate. Keep it up. I look forward to the new book coming out, and I'll try and get hold of the ones you've written already. But thank you very much indeed. Well done.
Chris.
All right, mate. God bless.
Chris, you've written a poem about the face mask, so can you recite that to us now?
Yeah, okay. Well, this one is called The Mask, and as we've already covered, I'm a West Ham supporter. And so when it came to the fact that I had to wear one, I thought I'd wear a West Ham one. And so I did, and so I got it from the beloved Dave and Karen. who run the West Ham club and take a lot of stick for it. But anyway, here we go, and it's just called The Mask, and it goes like this. Now, I'm wearing the mask for the COVID. Not that I got it, of course, but I heard someone say I should wear one today, and after all, there's a law that's in force. So I bought one from Dave and Karen. I wasn't sure what to expect. With their reputation with scant explanation, you never know what's coming next. I'm wearing it, though. You can't see it, but it's as plain as the nose on my face. Although it does cover me nose, to be honest, and my mouth and my chin, just in case. The trouble is, when you wear glasses, your breathing just fogs up the lens. So you take it up to see where you're going and then put it straight back on again. So I'm wearing the mask for the COVID. And it's not just a West Ham disguise. I bought it from Dave and Karen. And it's pucker. Imagine my surprise. That's it.
Well done, Chris. Well done. And
I love it. Oh, yes. Excellent.
Yeah, and I was talking to you the other day, Chris, when I asked you to come on to the programme, and we were I was laughing about when you can't find your car in the car park.
Yeah, now, it's true though, isn't it? That's why you was laughing.
It's true for me because we'd parked up, my husband sat in the car, and at the time, loads of people had the same car as us, and they were all silver. So I'm walking with a load of stuff over to where I thought the car was. Opened up the passenger seat, went to sit in, moaning about the crowd in the shop, looked at the husband, and it wasn't the husband. It was some sort of man that was looking at me, as much as to say, who the hell are you, you know? And,
absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And Dave, my husband, was sitting 2 cars behind thinking, where's she going? Where's she going? What is she doing? And I was so embarrassed. So could you read that one for us when you can't find
you know
your
what?
car?
What started it was that I recently had to get rid of my car. I loved my car. I had a Land Rover Freelander, and I loved it. And you could pick it out in a car park, wasn't a problem. It's taller than everybody else's car, easy peasy. I had to get rid of it, and at the moment I've just got a little thing that I bought just to get us over the holiday, and it's black. And nearly every car in Asda's car park is black. And it's raining every day, and my glasses ain't that good. And anyway, here we go. It's called When You Can't Find Your Car in a Car Park, and it goes like this. When you can't find your car in a car park, and again, it's pouring with rain, you're carrying 4 bags of shopping, and everyone's car looks the same. So you're pressing the button on your car key, and hoping some lights will come on. A raindrop drips off at the end of your nose, and all thoughts of dignity gone. When your glasses are both wet and misty because you've forgotten to take off your mask, but you can't put your bags down to take it off now, and there's nobody near you to ask. Then you see some lights flash in the distance, and you walk towards them like a fool, and somebody gets in it and drives it away. It wasn't your car after all. Suddenly your mobile starts ringing, but you treat it with scorn and disdain. When you can't find your car in a car park, and again it's pouring with rain.
Yes, I know the feeling. As I say, I know the feeling.
I know it's a night. I tell you, can I read? I wrote one on Monday that I tweeted, and it's sort of in praise of the London taxi service.
Oh, yes.
Being a Londoner, and I do support the London cab trade, and I think they're pretty unfairly treated one way or another at the moment. And but this one's gone down really well on Twitter. He says, desperately trying to find it. It's here somewhere, I know. In the meantime, I can't find it. In the meantime, I'll tell you what I'm going to do this one. Yep. This is called Selfie Filters. Right. And it's about the youngsters who are having all these selfies, and and all the filters they put on them to make them look different. I don't really get it. But here we go. It's called Selfie Filters. These filters that kids put on their selfies to make them look like someone else. I thought the point of a selfie was to have a picture of yourself. Some look surprised, some have stars in their eyes, and some change the style of their hair. I just don't get those who have the dog's nose. I don't know what's going on there. Some seem to favour cat's whiskers, while some have them big floppy ears. I know that I'm old, but they need to be told these pictures hang around here for years. There's one somehow makes them look slimmer and smooths out the lines on their faces. They look a bit blurred around the edges, and that ain't a bad thing in some cases. Now, don't start me off with a pouting. I've no idea what that's about. I did try it once with my lips in a bunch, but I was frightened my teeth would fall out. But as long as it's done in good humour, and I suppose it don't hurt no one else. But I thought the point of a selfie was to have a picture of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. On the programme at the moment is Old East End poet Chris Ross. So welcome back, Chris.
Thanks, Jack. You don't like a bit of Frank Ifield, eh?
No, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah, love it, yeah.
So have you found your poem, Chris?
Yeah, I have. Now,
okay, good.
This one, it's really neither one thing or the other. It really is just, as I say, I'm a big supporter of the black cab trade, and it's just that. It's just supporting the black cab trade. So it's a very short one, so here it goes. It's called I Got in a London Taxi Today. Because, I just want to I took my mum up to get the COVID jab up at Mile End there.
Oh,
you know?
yes,
and,
yeah.
And you can't park up there, so we took the cab, and that's all there is to it. Right. I got in a London taxi today. A lovely young lad he was too. We get nice and comfy for the very short journey and got chatting. You do what you do. He had a guitar sat there next to him for the long gaps he had between jobs. I think we'd be better off going out busking to pick up a couple of bob. It took me a while to get Mum in and out with a wheelchair that we borrowed today. He offered to put the ramp down if I wanted, but Mum said that she was okay. He slowed down at all of the speed bumps so Mum didn't get slung around. A professional driver, a service provider, and in London they're easily found. So if you're out and about in London, don't pick up your mobile phone app. Look for the yellow light any time, day or night. Stick your hand out and hail a black cab. That's it.
Yeah, that's lovely, Chris. Yeah, really good. Really good.
As I say, I do support the boys out there, and especially right now. I mean, it's a nightmare for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think it is.
It's really tough for them out there, you know. But,
Chris, when did you start to write poetry? When you were grown up, or when you were a child?
No. I started. I think I'm trying to remember now. It was probably 5 or 6 years ago. It might be a little bit longer. It must be a little bit longer, actually, because, funny enough, Facebook reminded me this morning that today is the 6th anniversary of when I had my heart attack.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, that all come flooding back. Yeah, so that wasn't the greatest thing. So it was probably a bit before that. And what happened was I just woke up in the middle of the night. I wasn't sleeping too well, and I got up and I turned on my computer and I sat down and wrote something down, and it was called If and When. 2013 it was, and it's just a little throwaway nothing. And but I had my computer on, so I just posted it on Facebook, and somebody said, "Oh, did you write that? Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, no, that's all right." And from there it just went mental. It started the next day. And as I say, 2013. So that's how long I've been doing it, 7 years. And it wasn't something I'd ever thought about before. You know, and you know what people tell you? People always say to me, "Oh, how do you do it?" and blah, blah, blah. And you look and you read on the thing, you say, "Oh, you must read as much poetry as you can, and you've got to do this." And I know people hate me for saying so, but I've never read a book of poetry in my life.
No.
Because I actually don't agree. Because I was in Waterstones, and I picked up a book, Sir John Betjeman, and I thought, let's have a look. And I opened it up to the first page, and I started reading something. And as I was reading it, I was thinking, the thoughts came to me, similar thoughts, and I thought, oh, I could write. So, and I thought, oh, wait a minute, you're nicking the guy's work. Stop it. Because that's what you do. That's what you automatically fall into, is that you start rewriting, if you like, the masters, you know? And
yeah,
I
see what you're saying. Yeah, I do.
It's got to be yours. It's got to come from you and from life, you know?
Things that you do, everyday things, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got one in front of me now that you might like. Have we got time? We've got time to read another one?
And then we've got to go for some commercials.
Go on. This one's called Who Are Ya? Now, I'm sure this is going to strike a chord with everybody. Because you're it happened to all of us. You're out walking along the street, somebody calls you out, look, oh, yeah, you goes, yeah, lovely, yeah. Ain't got a clue they are. But it doesn't matter because it's gone, you know.
Yeah,
now, my mum, bless her, she says, who are you? But I haven't got to that stage yet. So I still got to make out that I know. And so this one, it's a little bit longer than the last one. But anyway, it's called Who Are You? And it's a true story. And it goes like this. Now, I was out on the Docklands Light Railway when a bloke in a coat caught me eye. I thought I could see he was looking at me, but decided to let it go by. And then I heard Chris as he called out my name. And I turned straight back because, to tell you the truth, I'm no super sleuth and I hadn't a clue who he was. Mate, he said as he come over to me, it's ages since I saw you last. Blimey, I said, what are you doing here? Knowing I had to think fast. Are you still living in Beckton, he asked. I thought, bugger, he knows where I live. Who could it be sitting talking to me? My memory's just like a sieve. We said, how cool, blimey, and would you believe it? Then I knew it was my turn to speak. No work today was all I could say. He said, no, I've been off for the week. What are you doing with yourself these days? I'm kind of retired, I said. Oh, it's all right for some. Then he said, how's your mum? Well, I was still scratching my head. You still over at what's name, I ventured. And for a moment, I just held my breath. No, they let us all go about 3 years ago. And to be honest, I couldn't care less. How's the missus, he asked me. Perhaps he's a friend of me wife. Same as ever, I said, being clever, as I'd never seen him in my life. And what about you? How's the family? Nothing much changes, he said. And that was me, bang out of questions. Except, who are you? In me head. I stood up when we got to my station and shook hands the way that you do. I turned back and stared as I walked down the stairs. Who was he? I ain't got a clue.
I know, that's quite annoying when someone says hello to you and you don't know who they are.
It is, and somebody said to me the other day, you know, you'll go home and bing, you'll remember who it was. And I said, well, what's worse is if you remember who it was and it was somebody you swore you'd never speak to again.
Well, it's been fun having you on the programme, Chris.
Bless your heart. Thanks for asking me back, Jackie. It's been great.
No, that's fine. And as I say, let us know when your new book, obviously.
I will do. I'll tell you what, Jackie, when it's done, when it's out there, I'll get one up to the station for you.
Okay, that's absolutely wonderful. So thanks for joining me, Chris. You gave
thanks
us
for
a
having
good
me
laugh.
on. Thanks, John, Harry. See you later, guys. Take it easy.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.